Happy Monday! Welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer here to give you a weight loss slash health journey update. It is the 17th week since I started doing this. Guys, that's crazy. 17 weeks. Super crazy. So let's give a brief recap of what's been going on. When I first started this journey, I weighed 322, and I realized that I really needed to make some changes. The first time I realized how much weight I had put on was a year ago this October. It was my son's first birthday party, and I was looking back at the pictures and my jaw dropped. I just had not realized how much weight I had packed on. I knew it. I knew it because the scale told me, but I didn't know it. Does that make sense? When I would imagine myself, like in my mind's eye, I would imagine a much skinnier, healthier version of myself. And I realized it wasn't the case. And I had no energy, been tired all the time. A lot of that was my son. The first year, he really struggled massively with some acid reflux, which was such a struggle. For those of you that have had colicky babies, I feel for you. They kept just saying, oh, he's just colicky, he's colicky. And there's a long story into that. But I finally put my foot down and had them do testing, and he had some really bad silent reflux. So he was just miserable for the first 14 months of his life. And a lot of that time, I battled postpartum depression and then just being depressed as is, trying to take care of a poor, innocent little child that needed my help, and I didn't know how to help him. And it was just so hard. And then battling my hormones. So that first year and a half after my second son was born was rough. And it was safe to say that I had packed on some pounds because I was eating my emotions big time. It was like that moment of pleasure, that I could just sit down and have that moment of pleasure. So that is what was going on. And I had hit the heaviest point that I have ever been. And I started feeling really depressed and really hard on myself and really down. And it was that November that I decided, hi kitty. It was that November that I decided to start my channel. So I've been on YouTube for 10 months now. It's super crazy. And I started my channel because I wanted an outlet for my creativity, an outlet where I could be myself, and where I could learn to love my body no matter what the scale said. And it wasn't until I started my channel that I really started finding that love for myself again and hearing the positive feedback from people. I mean, even complete strangers that don't know who I am, and also friends or old acquaintances, rekindled new relationships through that. And I've been very grateful for my YouTube journey. It's been very interesting, very challenging, but it's also been really rewarding. And I've made new friends. I've made new connections that I'm very grateful for. So when I first started my channel, my sole purpose was to love myself again, to learn to love myself again. And you guys, it's hard when you've been battling depression, and I feel like I'm not in a place where I feel comfortable, being overweight and being unhealthy, and my hormones were crazy, and just feeling like food took the control away in my life. I was living for food instead of food was helping me live. Does that make sense? So I've been trying so hard to change the way that I view food and I view myself as a person. So that's kind of what this journey has been all about. It's been kind of crazy. So 17 weeks ago, I started a weight loss journey to utilize within my YouTube world. And I have to say, I thought it would be a lot easier than it has been. has been so hard. I would say the first month was probably the easiest because I could see the pounds just shedding off like crazy, and it motivated me to keep going. Um, and then, you know, it, okay, I'm trying to formulate my thoughts. So, for me, in my experiences, when I say I'm going to cut out sugar and I'm going to eat healthy, I can do it and I will rock at it for a few weeks. And then, life happens, stress happens. You guys know the story of my husband, all of that happened with him, with the mosquito virus and the meningitis and the encephalitis and his stroke. It's been a really interesting 17 weeks. And I know a lot of stress is a huge factor of that. But it also has been a journey of self-discovery. And it's been hard realizing into such a huge level, like a different kind of level than I ever imagined, of how much that food really was running and ruling my life. And it still is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have not overcome it by any means, but I'm learning how to take control of my life, my own life, instead of living for each meal and fantasizing about the next thing I'm going to eat, because that's where I was at. After I was done eating, we're like, okay, what am I going to eat next meal? Or what am I going to snack on tonight when the kids go to bed? Like it kind of ruled my mind. Food. Just food. All kinds of food. Healthy food. Very unhealthy food. Treats, snacks, pastries. Oh gosh, pastries. And it's been really hard during these 17 weeks to realize how big of an impact it is in my life, and that I need to make the changes to not let it rule my life anymore. So there's been a lot of roller coaster rides in this journey. It's been super crazy. I've released 20 pounds. And then I've been kind of stuck in this 300 pound range. And I don't know I don't know. Okay, let's start again. I'm concerned that a lot of it is psychological, that I might be a little scared to get out of the 300 pounds range. And I don't know why. I've been doing a lot of self-discovery lately. And it's like when I'm in 300 pounds, it has been my identity for like 3 years. I've been in the 300s. It's been my identity of who I am for the past 3 years, being 300 pounds or over. And every time I've come close and I've gotten down to the 297-ish range, I always go back up to the 300s. And I'm almost wondering, I keep saying, it's a plateau. I think I'm going to be fine. Let's just keep going. I'm actually really thinking it's psychological. I really am. And I need to figure out how to release that pre-notion, that I've told myself I'm not allowed to be in the 200 pound range, whatever that may be. And I feel like a lot of it is, I've told myself that I'm okay to be overweight, that I'm going to be okay, that I'm going to love myself, which a lot of that is, and I'm very proud of myself for that, to try to find love for myself regardless of what the scale says. But I also think there's a part of me that's scared to release more weight. I don't know. It's like a really weird feeling. I don't understand it. I don't get it, because I want to be healthier and I want to be thinner and I want to have more energy and I want to feel stronger. And I don't know. I keep saying, I think I hit this plateau. But I'm almost wondering if there's a little bit more to it. So I think I need to meditate and get to the bottom of it. I've mentioned before I do a lot of energy work. I've been learning. I'm still a newbie. I'm a beginner, but I've been learning energy work and reading different energies and being more in tune to our own intuition and also the spirit and God. It goes all hand in hand. And when I am in my peaceful moments, my quiet moments, I think what it comes down to is I'm scared. And just saying that and admitting that, whew, it's making me emotional. So I think it is hitting home. It's hitting true. It's ringing true to me that for some reason I'm scared to release more weight and to be healthier. And it is so weird. Why would I feel that way? I guess the part of me is losing that identity of who I am and who I've been for so many years. When I got pregnant with Harrison, I weighed 292. So that was 5 years ago. I've been in the 290s up. It's been 5 years, and it's been an identity, and I need to learn how to release that preconception of who I am. That's not who I am. Who I am is my heart and my spirit and my morals and my beliefs. That's who I am, not the weight on the scale. And that can go either direction, It can go whether you're okay at the 300s or below, but everybody's different. Everybody's happier wherever they're at. But for me, I really want to release this extra weight that I feel like is holding me down. I physically feel like it's holding me down. And I don't want to be held down anymore. I want to fly. And I know I can do that. I know I can do that being this way. I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. I know I can do that being this way. But I find it interesting that I feel like I'm holding myself here. Like I'm holding myself here. Does that make sense? And I don't think I was doing it intentionally. I know I'm not doing it intentionally. But as I'm doing some self-reflecting, I really think that's what's been going on. So I don't really quite know where to go from here. I know that I need to keep exercising because I do feel stronger. I know my body is still shaping. I posted a picture on Facebook and Instagram showing you guys that my body is still changing. It really is. It's still changing. And I know some of that is muscle, but I also think a lot of it is psychological, that I'm holding myself prisoner in the 300 range. Does that make sense? Is that making any sense at all? Because it doesn't really make sense to me, but it is what it is. That's what's going on. So I feel like I'm on like this hump that I need to get over. And it's been an emotional ride. I really didn't think it would be this emotional, but it has been. So I don't know what else to say, but that's what's been going on. Does anybody have thoughts? Has anybody else felt the same way that I'm feeling at the moment? Has anybody experienced anything similar to this? I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. I had the flu this week, so I had a lot of downtime to really think about and self-reflect and, think about cognitively what's going on. And I think that's what I've concluded. So I think I need to do some releasing exercises and some meditation and some positive affirmations to see if I can't get over this hump. So kind of crazy. But if you watch my videos, I've been in this spot for weeks. I would say a majority of the 17-week journey that I've been on. So I need to find a way to be ready to move on from this. It's almost like ending a chapter in my life. And a lot of that chapter that I've associated with is motherhood. And I don't want to associate motherhood with being over 300 pounds. But in my mind, that's what I see, is my motherhood as being over 300 pounds. And I need to realize, see, I'm getting emotional. When I get emotional, it's ringing true to my mind. I need to realize that I can be a wonderful mother and still release weight. I don't know, that's a weird thing. And it's like this crazy realization that I can be healthy, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be strong for myself and for my children, and that is motherhood. No matter what the scale, if it's the scale says 250 or 300, I am still a mother to beautiful, beautiful little boys. So I need to learn how to separate those out. That weight should not be an identifier of who I am, and it shouldn't mean that that's my motherhood. I don't know, super crazy. But that's my self-discovery this week. I am back at it on the treadmill. I got back on this morning because I've been sick for the last few weeks. I've been doing calisthenics, which is 4 exercises to help shape muscles, which I really enjoy doing those. It's kind of meditative for me. But now I am back on the treadmill. So I'm very excited about that. I feel like my lungs are healthy enough to keep going. So there's my journey. I will, for those of you that are not on my Facebook or Instagram, I will try to show you those pictures that I mentioned before. If not in this video, then the next video. I'll try to get to it sooner or later. But thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.